So hi once again everyone. Today we are going to talk about the selection process in Delhi University, and we'll also discuss about the nitty-gritty of CUET examination. And in between this, if you have any query, you can also raise them and clarify it. Fine. So here we go. If I talk about CUET, let me first talk about the CUET examination. We all know that Delhi University will be going to take going to fill more than 70,000 seats through CUET only, and the exam is going to be conducted by NTA. That will be on the first week of July. The forms are available. I'm sure all of you know about it. 6th April to 6th May is the form date. And the beauty is that this year there will be no weightage for the board examination. I'm sure all of you have heard about St. Stephen's talking about 15% weightage to non-CUT examination. There also UGC has raised the issue. So maybe very soon they will clarify, they will sort out this thing. But I think it is only through CUT that central universities are going to take admission. So different programs have different eligibility criteria. You can log into cut.samarth.ac.in if you want to fill the CUT form. And I'm sure some of you have already tried it by now. The next part is if you really want to fill the Delhi University, because the Delhi University, what all programs are there, you can also go to the admission.uod.ac.in to know about more information, though most of the information we have already taken. तो ऐसा शायद ही कोई चीज होगा जो हमने यहाँ छोड़ा है. So we are going to discuss about all those things here. Fine. So our board marks important? No, right now it is only your CUT score that will be matter. That will matter in this year, admission in the colleges, UG colleges. Fine. So almost in 90% of the courses, you'll be finding that it is, the CUT which is required. So no more 90% marks is required there in the exam as well. Student journey stop at UG. No, I think that all of you need to score also very good there in your board examination, because when you try to go for the higher studies in masters, there also these things are important, especially people who are planning to go for MBA. I think for them it is really very important, and especially if you are planning to go abroad, there your marks are really very important. So what is the selection process? Register for CUET, carefully select the domain subject. That is the reason why this session has been planned. जो subject आपको जरूरत है जिस particular course के लिए, वो सारे सब्जेक्ट्स वी हैव डिस्कस्ड हियर. फाइन. और हर यूनिवर्सिटी का अलग अलग एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया. आज कोशिश करेंगे दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी कंप्लीट करने का. फिर बीएचयू के भी ऊपर वी विल बी टेकिंग अ सेशन. इट विल बी ओनली हाफ एन आवर का सेशन होगा. फाइन. सो appearing in CUT examination in July is more important than anything else. Fine. And depending upon your score that you are going to score in these exams, you will be shortlisted for the different round for that particular program. So there's no centralized counseling as said earlier. So I'm sure all of you know about this pattern right now. 1A, it is a language portion because we have already covered it in earlier session. That's why I'm going little fast in this. Language, you have to choose one of the language out of the 13 languages which are mentioned there. So there will be 50 questions. You need to answer 40 questions in 45 minutes. That is what is required here. So they are going to check you on reading comprehension. They are going to check you on vocabulary. They want to see how good knowledge do you have of that particular language. So some of you who are thinking that in Delhi University, can I appear in Tamil? Yes, you can appear until it is not mentioned. That we will also be discussing today. Or some of you may be feeling that I'm good at Hindi. Can I choose Hindi as a language? बिल्कुल आप हिंदी एज अ लैंग्वेज चूज कर सकते हो. ठीक है, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन लैंग्वेज एक आपको चूज करना ही पड़ेगा. फाइन. तो सेकंड 1B, if you want to study any of the foreign language, you want to study Japanese, German, French, all of these languages you can apply. There's a separate section for it. That is 1B. Even for Sanskrit also, there's a 1B where you need to opt for the language. Now there are domain subjects. There are 27 domain subjects which are mentioned there. In these domain subjects, again, same 50 questions will be there. You have to do only 40 questions in 45 minutes. And finally, there's a general test, which is now general aptitude test that they are going to test. Reason is many of the program, the universities need only general aptitude test. And especially if you look at the JNU, exam pattern, they are going to consider your GAT score. Fine. So here we go. In the morning slot, it will be approximately 4 hours of the session that you will have, where you have to write a language from 1A or 1B. And 1A is mandatory, 1B also you can take. 2 subjects you can write in the morning, plus general ability test will be conducted in the morning. In the afternoon, the same day, or maybe it is possible that if you are opting for a domain subject which is not available on that particular day, maybe in 2 different days you are going to appear for your examination. And it is not only one date that is given, it is over the period of time that you will be going to write the exam. Fine. So for the second one, it is again 4 hours of the session that will be available there. Fine. So let's talk about this. If you want to apply for any of these programs, that is anthropology, botany, biomedical, biological science, zoology, microbiology, applied life science or life science, for that, these are the domain subject that you need to appear for. I'm repeating again, if you are going to apply for any of these programs, if you want to pursue your BSc in anthropology or botany or biomedical or biological science, or microbiology or even applied life science or life sciences, for that you need to appear in the exam physics, chemistry and bio. So these 3 domain subject needs to be there. Along with that, there will be one language that you will be going to appear in 1A. In that language, you need to score 30% of the marks. Let me repeat it. In the language that you are opting for, the cutoff criteria is that you need to score 30% marks. So are those marks going to be added in this one? No, that is the minimum eligibility criteria, that you need to score 30% in that particular domain, in that particular language. But yes, the score of physics, biology and chemistry will be calculated there, and the average of these marks or the sum of these marks will be considered for the selection process therein by the universities. Fine. So if you want to appear for these subjects, that is physics honors, chemistry honors, polymer science honors, physical science with chemistry, physical science with industrial chemistry, applied physical science with analytical method in chemistry and biochemistry, or applied physical science with industrial chemistry, for that 3 domain subject needs to be appeared in, that is physics, chemistry and maths. So if you say I appeared for physics, chemistry, but I did not appear for maths, you are not eligible for these programs there in Delhi University. I'm talking about the Delhi University now. Fine. So, but if you talk about, some of the courses are there where the multiple options are given to you. For example, if you talk about these subject, electronic science, physical science with electronics, and physical science with chemistry, if you want to appear for these programs under Delhi University, your score will be calculated in physics, chemistry and maths. If you don't want to appear in maths, in that case, it will be physics, chemistry, computer science or informatics practices will be what that will be tested. So you need to opt for physics, chemistry, of course, but instead of maths, you can also opt for computer science or informatics practices. Now, one of the general questions that people have been asking is, what if I appear for maths as well as computer science? Yes, you can do it. The best of 3 subjects that you want to give will be considered there. Of course, physics and chemistry will be mandatory, but out of maths and computer science, whichever exam you score higher, you can apply through that one way. Fine. I think it is clear. Let's come to the next part of this. Now, there are some of the courses, they are giving you multiple options. For example, if you want to study geology, if you want to go for BSc in geology science, for that physics, chemistry, maths, or maybe you are not from the maths background, you want to go for geology, then it is physics, chemistry and biology. Say that you have studied geography or maybe geology in your class 12 and you want to opt for that. Of course, with physics and chemistry, you can appear for geography or geology as a subject. I believe it is clear. So these are the courses that you can opt for. Along with that, there are subjects like, for example, if you want to go for physical education, many of the people wanted to pursue physical education. Maybe in the future, they wanted to go for BPA program or health education or sports. Many of you wanted to pursue your MBA in sports. For that, it is one language A. The marks of language A will be considered there. It is not a scoring subject here. Plus physical education from B2 you have to appear in. One option is this. You can see this one. One option is physical education that you need to appear, and one subject from B1, and one subject can be from either from B1 or B2. Or you feel that I have not taken physical education or I want to go for physical education. Of course, go for the language from A. Two subjects from B1 and one subject from B1 or B2. So if you are from maths background, if you are from science background and physical education is not one of your subject, please go ahead with the language, and three subject physics, chemistry, maths can be also opt for. Fine. But in this case, the 50% weightage is given to your score, plus 50% weightage will be given to the performance-based test. Fine. So you need to perform there. For example, if you want to go for cricket or hockey or football, there is a performance-based test. On the basis of that, they are going to select you. Now, here we go. If you want to go for food technology, many of the people are interested for food technology nowadays. You can go for either PCM, physics, chemistry, maths, or you can opt for physics, chemistry, and biology. Fine. So environmental science, food technology, any of these programs, if you want to opt for, you can go ahead with it. Fine. So home science, if you want to study that, it is biology, physics, plus one subject from B1 or B2 that you can opt. Or you can also go for biology plus chemistry. And 30% of the weightage, 30% need to be scored in section A of CUET. Fine, that is language. Now let's talk about the biochemistry here. It is chemistry is mandatory, biology is mandatory. Out of physics and maths, you can opt for any of these subjects. Fine. But if you want to pursue your BSc Maths, there's a great news for you. Even if you have studied humanities or you have studied commerce as a subject in your 12th, you can still get a BSc degree. For that, one language from section A and maths plus one language, one subject from B1 and one subject can be from B1 or B2. So for example, I want to offer accountancy plus maths plus English as one subject. And one subject I want to take as a physical education, or I want to take computer science, I can go ahead with that. So even if you are from commerce, or maybe I have studied political science, history, and geography, I can opt for any of the two subjects, maybe political science and geography. But one of the paper that I need to opt for is maths there. Is that fine? This is how they are going to consider this one. Talking about the computer science, here the criteria is that one language you need to opt from section A. Maths is mandatory for computer science. You need to write a maths paper there. One subject from B1 and one from B1 or B2. Fine. So home science pass if you want to opt for it. Of course, biology is one of the important part. Out of physics and chemistry, you can opt for one of the subject. And one subject can be taken from B1, which is mandatory, or B2. So here you are given a leverage. So from these courses, you will be able to know what are the subjects that you can opt for. Now, if you are taking languages, maths, one subject from B1 and one from B1 and B2, any of the subject, but maths is essential for that. Or even stats. If you have taken stats as one of the subject, rather than maths, you can also opt for stats. Then only you can go for BSc statistics. We all know Delhi University is doing so well in statistics nowadays, because it is all based on data. But if you want to go for management studies, or you want to go for BFIA program, or you want to opt for Bachelor of Business Economics, in that case, one language is mandatory. The score of the language will be also calculated. It is not to be cleared. It is not to be scored 30%. Language is important criteria. Their score will be calculated. Maths is one of the subjects that you need to appear for that. It's mandatory. The beauty about the maths is many of you have taken applied maths and you must be worried, what should I do? I have taken applied maths. My suggestion is the paper pattern of maths is such that there are 15 questions which are common for both applied as well as core maths. Those 15 questions you need to do. Along with that, there are 35 questions from applied maths and 35 questions from core maths. Now you need to opt for whether you wanted to go for core maths or applied maths. Overall, you need to do 40 questions in 45 minutes. 15 of them are common questions there. Fine, I hope it is clear. So in BMS, in Bachelor of Management Studies, even if you have applied maths, then also it is absolutely fine. So no need to worry that I have not studied, 3D, I have not studied vectors. How can I make it? So you have an option, you can go for applied maths as well. Along with that, section 3, that is general aptitude test. For your kind information, I want to tell you, these are the programs for which Delhi University never took a student through percentage. So they always conducted a common entrance examination, popularly known as DU-CHAT. Later on, the nomenclature of that changed to DUET, but they used to conduct a common entrance examination for that. Here, they wanted you to perform in section 3, that is general test need to be appeared in. So 3 subject score will be calculated. One is language, one is maths or stats, and sorry, not for this is not stats, it is maths. And third is section 3, that is general test need to be considered. Fine. Now, one more important part of this, if many of you are looking or dreaming to go for the BCom honors program, or as a backup, you must be interested in going for BCom honors. Just a second, just give me one. So if I talk about, BCom honors program, so one language need to be taken from section A. Then you can go for maths, and one subject from B1 and one from B1 or B2. If you are not comfortable with maths, many of the students said that they don't have maths in class 12, but they wanted to go for BCom honors. That option is also available. One language, along with that, you are going to take the accountancy as one of the domain subject. One subject will be taken from B1 and one subject will be taken from either from B1 or B2. I hope it is clear. So if you don't want to appear in maths, then also it is fine. But in that case, accountancy is the mandatory subject. That is for the BCom honors. So no more 99, 100% marks needed to study in SRCC, LSR, Miranda House. I think this is sufficient for you. Now, what if you want to go for BCom pass? So here you have an opportunity. One is that you are going to take one language from section A, 2 languages from B1 and one from B1 or B2. Or you can also offer one language from A, one from B1 and one from B1 or B2, and you appear for section 3 as well. So here, rather than 3 domain subject, you can also offer 2 domain subject. Along with that, section 3, that is general test score will be also considered. Fine. So in case if you feel that you are not very good in 3 domain subject and you are practicing for the general test, I think this is really a good option. Fine. So here there's a query. Yeah, Bipul, for BA LLB, as a Delhi University is not offering BA LLB after 12th. So if you look at the BA LLB program, they have only LLB program, and that is after graduation. So Delhi University, there is no BA LLB. Yes, it is in a BHU where BA LLB is there. There they're asking for legal studies as one of the subject, and one of the subject will be the general aptitude test, general test. These 2 subject score will be only calculated to get admission into the BHU LLB program. Is that fine? But for Delhi University, there is no such program as a BA LLB. If you are talking about IELTS examination, if you are talking about National Law University, I'm talking about the Delhi one, Dwarka one. For that, there's a separate examination which is IELTS exam. I hope you are aware of that. So if you want to go for Sanskrit, social work, Bengali, Urdu, applied psychology, philosophy, and any of the language which are there, for example, Punjabi is also there, Tamil is also there, so or geography is there. For that, one language need to be taken from A, 2 domain subject need to be taken from B1 only, and one can be taken from B1 or B2 depending upon your interest. So for example, someone is from science background, he wanted to go for Sanskrit honors. What is the requirement? Requirement is again same. You can go for one language from A, you can opt for 2 subject or 3 subjects. For example, I can opt for physics, chemistry, maths. Along with that, I have taken a language. So it is absolutely fine. Krish will discuss in Jamia in detail because there are few things which they have not, clarified. So I would say maybe on after 1 or 2 days we'll have a separate session on Aligarh Muslim University and Jamia Millia Islamia. So kindly give us some time for that one. Fine. So if you want to go for these one language need to be taken from A, and it is not to pass. Their marks will be, needed. Only for the BSc programs, 30% marks is needed in section A. For other, whether it is a BCom, it is a BA, for that your language is important. Even for the professional program like BMS, language score will be also added there. It is only for the BSc program. I'm repeating it so that you will be sure about it. Only for the BSc program, it is 30% is the minimum score that you need to get in the language. For others, your language score will be also added. So if you talk about these programs, one language needs to be taken from A, two core domain subject needs to be taken from B1, and one needs to be taken from B1 or B2. Anupam, no, they are not. They are giving only 3 years of BA LLB program. They are giving only LLB program. Fine. So any of these program, I hope you understand, 3 domain and 1 language is needed for that. Fine. Yeah, Krish Khera, sample paper may be out. I think it will take around, because exam will be conducted in the month of July. So I expect that it will be coming somewhere in the month of May. Fine. But yes, I think some sample paper need to be coming out from them. Usually they come up with that one. So what about BA economics? So now earlier they were talking, many of the universities or Delhi University colleges were saying that will reduce the science student marks or commerce student marks. I think that thing is now clarified. I think it is clear to all of you that whether you are from humanities, you are from science or commerce, no marks will be deducted. All of you need to give your score, one language, one maths need to be there. You can also go for applied maths, that is absolutely fine. One from B1 and one subject from B1 or B2. So overall 4 subject score will be calculated there. It is similar as last year. The only difference is rather than the CBSE score, this time they are going to take the CUT score. If if I tell you my personal view, I think this is the greatest thing that is done by the government, because this will be going to give you the same platform, whether you studied from Bihar board or UP board or Tamil Nadu board. I think all of you are at par. Now it is clarified that the NCERT is the syllabus that is going to be tested there. Even if your board has deducted some part of the subject, I think they are giving you 50 questions for that reason only, that you need to take 40 questions from there. Fine. So for BA Eco Honors, maths is mandatory. You can go for applied or core. That is hardly important because they will be giving you the score in maths. One B1 and one from B1 or B2. And language is certainly the important part of this. Fine. So now if you are talking about the program like BA program, which is also known as a BA pass. So this time they are not saying it is a BA pass. They are saying only BA program. One language, one from B1 or B2. Here you have given a, this thing that you can offer one subject either from B1 or B2, and section 3 is important. Or you feel you are not comfortable with section 3, you don't want to go for the general test. In that case, it is same, one language, 2 subjects from B1 and 1 subject from B1 or B2. So I think they are going to consider the average. Here they are going to consider 3 subjects. Here they are going to consider the 4 subjects. That is the basic difference in BA program. Now, if you want to go for English, yeah, Anupam, you want to ask something? Please ask. Please send me the message. So, okay. Shreya Singh is saying that which one is better, BCom or BBA? See, it all depends upon you. If you want to go for, the management programs, of course, the BBA is good. If you feel that you want to make your career in accountancy, you want to, decide it later on after your graduation, after your UG program, you can go ahead with the, the BCom program as well. But if we talk about the professional program, I think that is feasible. Yeah, Anupam, ask me.
Sir, recently yesterday I was filling CU8 form, just random form, and
Mhm.
where there I had seen that BHU, EU, and Rajiv Gandhi University they
Okay.
are they are providing program name as BA LLB 5-year integrated course, BA LLB honors, BA LLB honors. So
Mhm.
what is difference
You are
between them,
talking
sir?
about which university?
University of Allahabad, Banaras Hindu University, and Rajiv Gandhi University.
See, I tell you one thing, for BHU, if they are offering you 5-year program, I have already mentioned that legal studies is one of the subject that you need to opt for. And second
Yes,
is
sir.
CUT, that is general test. Just for your information, I want to tell you that every university have their different program. So today we are talking about Delhi University, and if you have any doubt about BHU, you can ask, because there are few universities whom we have also sent the letter. So they will come up with their their there are some doubts which can be clarified by them. Fine.
Yes, sir. Okay.
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 Sir,
Thank you.
Yeah. So what is
sir,
BMS? BMS is Bachelor of Management Studies. Yeah,
sir,
Krish.
for the BHU only, so we have to give section 1A, we will give English. In section 2, we can give legal studies. And for the section 3, that is GAT. We have, this is the procedure. They are the three
Yeah,
sections we have to give.
this is the criteria.
Thank you, sir. Also, sir,
Yeah.
in legal studies, the syllabus, I have checked the syllabus, it will be from NCRT, right?
Yes.
So how will we prepare? We have to read the whole NCRT.
No, there are a lot of things that has been discussed in the classes as well. But yes, NCRT, have you checked what are the topics that is going to be asked?
Yeah, I have checked, sir.
So how many
There are
topics
only
you have
few of
studied
which I
already?
knew. There are only some of what I knew by heart. There are only some.
So you need
But
to prepare for those as well, because the legal study they are giving in very detail. Because for CLAT, it is basically the dynamic part, the current affairs, that is what is going to be tested. It is more towards the critical reasoning. But when we talk about the legal studies, in that case, they are going to ask you also the static part. Is it fine? So for that,
they
you
can
need to
ask
also
our
prepare
legal
with.
knowledge as well because
Yes.
I have selected science in class 12, so that's
No,
why I was
for
asking.
that you have to appear for this legal studies as well. Fine.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Shreya Singh, you want to ask something?
So,
Sir, will NCRT will be enough for the legal studies one?
I will come back to that one. No,
Okay.
NCRT will not be enough.
Sir,
sir,
in
BHU
recent news,
CU8 exam and BLAT exam are equal.
No, how can they be equal? There are two different examination. One is CLAT and second is CUET. Both of their patterns are different. National law universities and many of the universities which are conducting 5-year integrated program, they will be taking your CLAT score. But it is a BHU because they have not come up with the notification earlier. They are going to take CUET score. Is it fine? So they are not same. Don't try to compare them. They are different examination.
So it means BLAT will happen further.
Which one? BLAT.
BLAT, 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 BHU wala.
CLAT, my dear. Are you preparing for CLAT?
Yes, sir.
So why have you not filled the form? The forms are already out. Their date is
I
extended
had
now.
filled it. I am talking about BLAT, sir. BLAT.
There is
BLAT
no
means
BLAT
BHU.
examination. I have just told it that BHU is going to take CUT score.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Fine. Okay,
Yes,
Shreya, now
sir.
you can ask.
sir, in recent news, it was like we can pursue 2 UG courses or something like that. Do you have
I'm
any
sorry,
idea
your
about
voice
that?
is not clear. You are talking of the music?
Sir, UG courses,
Yeah.
like we can pursue 2 courses at a time, something like that was in
Yeah,
recent news.
I think that is in initial stages, and UGC need to come up with the detail what all courses, because they are saying not every course that you can do simultaneously. I think
Yes.
they will be giving you some, for example, music can be studied with something else. So you want to pursue 2 UG program, I will say please wait for that. Focus only on the program which are there, because right now there is not much clarification from UG. They have just come up with one notification that we may allow 2 UG program to be taken together. Fine.
So, sir, and one more question, sir. So, BMS or BBA, what would be the better one?
There is no difference between them. Delhi University does not offer any of the BMA program. Their nomenclature is BMS, Bachelor of Management Studies. But if you talk about some of the university, they are giving you the BBA program. So I don't think there's any difference in between them. They are alike. They are same. Fine.
Okay,
It
sir.
depends upon the university.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I think we can move ahead now. So if you talk about BA Humanities and Social Science, for that also English is one of the language that needs to be taken. That is what they mentioned. And 2 languages need to be taken from B1 and 1 from B1 or B2. Fine. If you are talking about 5-year integrated program in journalism, this is again one of the finest program by Delhi University. Started only 3-4 years back. So here what you can do is you need to appear for only Hindi or English. So for example, if you want to go for Hindi Patrakarita, for that it is Hindi which is needed there. But if you wanted to go for journalism, that is English journalism, in that case, English is the language that needs to be opted for. And section 3, the general test need to be considered for it. Fine. Now, people who wanted to study, the mass media and the people who want to go for multimedia or mass communication program, for them also Delhi University has come up with this thing that one language need to be taken and mass media should be taken as a subject. And section 3, again general test. So these 3 exams, average score will be taken or total score will be taken there to decide that whether to give you the admission that or whatever is the cutoff that will be decided on the basis of these 3 things. Fine. So what if you want to go for BA journalism? So this is BA journalism. It is a 3-year program. Integrated program is different. That is 5 years program. In integrated program, you can go for 3 years journalism program or Patrakarita. After that, you can take a break up to 2 years. You can practice it there in the corporate. Come back and completed your post-graduation program from there. This is the beauty of that integrated program. Here, they will be giving you 3 years of bachelor's program. So BA journalism, they want you to be writing English and section test 3. Or you can have also an option that you take English as a language and 3 core subject, domain subject need to be taken, whether 2 will be from B1 and 1 can be from B1 or B2. That is what they expect. Now, of course, if you are talking about Hindi Patrakarita, one language from A, it should be Hindi as a language, not only any of the language, you need to take Hindi as a language. And section 3, or you can write 3 domain subject, whether 2 must be from B1 and 1 can be from B1 or B2. Fine. So this is all from our side. I have covered almost all program of Delhi University. Now, if you have any query, you can ask for more. You can always reach out to us or send me a mail on this.
Sir?
Yeah, please.
So how are we going to go ahead with domain specific subjects?
Sorry, Utkarsh, I cannot hear you. How are we going?
How are we going